Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you feel it?
Can you feel it?
Can you feel it?
Ooh,
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yes.
Can you feel it? Ooh,
It's
That's
disturbed. Come on.
I don't know.
Come on, get up. Get down
How
with the
come
sickness.
no one wanted you as their lead singer in the band?
And that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. And it's a smart question to ask.
Yeah.
Come on.
The closest we
get down
ever had
with
was
sickness.
the B-52s.
What was
Fred
that?
Schneider.
Oh, yeah.
That was
you and him are cut from the same cloth.
But he does have more energy.
Yeah,
than me.
for sure. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You just pull up a chair and do the whole
Fred
concert.
Schneider, well, I mean, I'm a piano player, so
Sure.
a chair
Oh,
does
naturally.
help with the concert element.
Yeah.
Else my back
And
would
they're
hurt.
like, he didn't touch the piano the entire time.
Or I could have a tall piano. A standing piano.
Or like a standing desk.
There was this guy that used to be in downtown Disney because I used to like go to school around there, and so I'd hang out down there because that's where the cool kids went, downtown Disney, going to downtown D. And there was this, not only were those creepy babies that you were talking about at that store, there's a store that used to be at the downtown Disney, and they sold like babies that were like realistic.
It's Real Doll, I think.
Yeah, it's called Real
yeah.
Doll. And someone would just stand outside with what
looked
like a lifeless baby.
Yeah, it does. It's a little. It's a rocker for sure.
But if you want a baby, but you don't want to have a baby,
now there's like bereavement things, and there's like things of like
you can just buy this $2,000 fake baby.
It is a very expensive baby
that you can just hold sometimes.
Sure.
So like right outside of these weird people holding these Avatar themed babies and other things.
Because they're always Avatar themed. You're like,
well, they're all different themes, but they go through them like this. Yeah. So they're holding this weird baby, and I'm not kidding you. Across the way, there's this guy who's literally just like, he plays piano, but it has like fog machines coming out of the side of it. He's in like all black. He has like magician kind of wear on. And
he
would basically play like that Mannheim steamroller sort of
like,
like, and then literally on that one for all I know, he could be in that band.
He is.
No, but like, so in that part when it would like go in the higher octaves, like the piano would start levitating, and then he would like start, but like it was just it was on like an electric push, like a standing desk. It was not like, it was not a and then like smoke would come outside, and he'd be like and then
but
he'd
like,
be,
did he have to set this up every day?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's a busker. He's not like hired. He brought it all.
Impressive.
Yeah, and he'd bow afterwards.
Wow.
And I just would like watch. I'd watch, and
not
I'd be
in
like,
a like mean way, but
I'd
like,
admire
that
from afar.
Fog juice is expensive. Like, I hope he's making at least enough to break even on fog juice.
I don't know. Not a lot of people were stopping to, like, he got some claps, but there weren't a lot of.
Every day he's like,
he didn't have a good
money?
repertoire. He wasn't talking to like a magician. He was just kind of in it.
Well, to be fair, he's also in a really weird spot with the babies.
Yeah, like, I know. That's what. Then I just remember like looking at all of it and just being like, "Look at like this is some of the craziest."
Sometimes those things happen, and you go like, "What? Where are we? What is happening?"
Yeah.
Because it's a lot, you know?
Yeah.
I remember filming something one time because I thought it was so funny where it's like these three kids in unison on a skateboarder, and then like literally this girl like opens up her car door and like hurls out of it, and then the dog got loose, and I was like, where are we?
One of my favorite things is like when you're listening to music and you're like walking down the street
and then it
syncs up to someone else, you know,
I love
like
it.
Yeah, and they're like walking to the beat, and you're like, oh yeah,
and
they're like, and you're just like, are we all in?
Yeah, there's also
that's
like
magic.
moments too that like make you fully realize, because like you and I, when we would do like a Europe thing, you were like doing Regina Spektor, and like we were really feeling it and seeing it, and you're like, oh, all the cobblestones and all the streets, and then literally like you take out the headphones for 1 second and it's like beep beep beep, and it's like, get out of the way.
It just depends though on like what world, because the first time I went to Europe I was the same as you. I was like listening to some like house,
you're like, I need to feel
and then like now every time I hear that song I think of the train going through the Alps.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I don't know if I forgot my headphones this time or if I literally just was like, now I want to appreciate the sounds of a foreign city.
Sure.
I love when that happens, when things sync up and people are just like walking
and
to the beat.
And you feel like it's like,
it's good, man. And because giving the city a soundtrack really helps enjoy it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Welcome to Favorite Cheese.
Welcome. Episode 21.
We started on a tangent already.
It is Easter. He has risen, and so has my starter. I fed it last night.
Okay.
And it has risen,
That's
baby.
That's the beginning of your food channel. Yeah. He has risen, and so has my starter.
Yeah,
I fed it last night, everybody. We're going to dive right into
We're going to dive right in with... and I need you to...
And I need you to pay attention, everyone. Oh, it feels... That's enough, I think.
Oh, you're right.
It feels good. When this airs, I should say airs. When this is released, it will be one day away from my birthday.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. I love birthdays, man. I love them. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
If you want to wish Lee a happy birthday, please do.
Go for it.
April 13th.
I would love it. April 13th is my birthday. Yes, I am an Aries. No, I don't think it's a problem.
Do people think it's a problem?
I don't know. Sometimes we get bad raps about.
So do Geminis, though.
Geminis really do.
Yeah.
I've noticed that a lot because you're a Gemini and my best friend is a Gemini.
I'm a Gemini in the third house of the fourth moon rising.
You don't know that at all. That's not true at all.
Yep.
No, Aries get a bad rap because they're like, they're fiery and they have a temper and they say things like that. But then also on the other hand, it's like they're very loyal and they're very extreme convictions, which I do, you know that, I have serious convictions where it's and also to the side of the temper thing is if someone will say like if someone doesn't give a friend of mine a fork, she's like, oh, it's fine. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go. I'm the person that will say, I will always speak up for something. I'll always be, I don't hesitate at all. If it's a 6'5" man or whatever, I'm always the person that's like,
but
hey,
if it's 6'6", I'm out.
Oh no, I'm not going to talk to a 6'6" person.
Come on.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
That's too tall.
Too tall.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do know that. I do know that I'm like, that side of the temper is what I get. Cause I don't think I have a bad temper. Do I have a bad temper?
Do I have a bad temper?
I said, do I have a bad temper?
No,
I really don't see that part.
You don't have a temper. You're definitely passionate and fiery, and you're like if there's a team of people and the other team doesn't, and your teammates have given up, you'll be like, get out there.
Yeah, I am like that. I'm the rallier. I am the one that's like, we gotta do this.
But you'll give it your all too. You'll be out there dying. You'll be the last one,
man.
I'm a Gemini, so I'm cute and a cheerleader. Popular.
And probably popular. And just really an all-around great person.
Yeah. And I give back and I give.
The focus of the matter is my birthday. And I'm excited about it, and I'm so happy, and I'm looking forward to it. And it's gonna be a great day. I can feel it in my bones.
Well, I haven't planned a single thing, so
it's all gonna happen, guys. It's all there. I need you to know that I have not planned a single thing. So
I got some ideas cooking in the old boggle.
A little boggle cook?
In the old boggle. I'm kind of connecting the dots.
That feels nice.
Do you know how to ski?
Yes. I wouldn't like to.
Do you know how to water ski?
Could you imagine? It's so cold.
Got a group on.
It's wake up super early in the morning and you're like, oh no. And you're like, I'm taking you to water ski. Something you've never asked to do.
No.
I mean, I'm down for tubing, I guess.
We can't tube.
Okay. It sounds great. I'm excited.
What about power yachting?
I don't even know what that is.
You just put on some nice clothes.
Yeah.
And you get on a big boat.
Yeah.
And you just wave at people on the shore.
I get seasick.
Sometimes you just pour wine and champagne into the water.
I don't think that's called power yachting.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'd love to power yacht now that you say it. They're like, it's so wasteful.
You cross your arms a lot. You're in a suit. Yeah.
I'm not comfortable, but I will pour the Dom Perignon in the ocean.
You're just constantly FaceTiming.
Yeah, and I love that. No, that doesn't sound appealing to me, but I think you're gonna cook up something great in that boggle. So.
Well, if it's any evidence on how I proposed, I don't think it's gonna be going good.
Yeah, oh, no.
My toe hurts, so I can't walk right now. I stubbed my toe, and
Delman.
So maybe I could take you to Disneyland. I could get a wheelchair because my toe.
Oh,
front of the line.
Hey, we don't need to figure it out right now.
No, I think we do. I think we need to get to the bottom.
Let's get to the bottom of it.
I want video documentation.
No.
Would you be down?
Okay.
Hypothetical. That I'm making up on the spot. On the spot, hypothetical. New thing.
Why are you pointing at everyone?
For a few of the people watching. On the spot, hypothetical, if I can remember it. Okay. Would you... There was that Black Mirror episode, when they had like the rice in their necks and they could always play back. Like it was always recording.
Yes.
And there's definitely been a few times if we've been in like a disagreement of something, and I'll be like, I wish there were,
because I know what I said and you know what you said.
And I'll be like, if there was cameras around here, would you, for that purpose, would you let that happen? Would you record 24/7 just to prove a point?
And here's also why, because there's things that I truly like don't remember.
Yeah.
Like putting my keys in the fridge and stuff like that. But I'm like, I just want to go back and be like, hey, does anyone honestly know where I put my purse?
I know.
I'm like fully lost.
Besides it being just so creepy, like, because when my friends come over, they're like, why are there cameras everywhere? It's like, I gotta track
I don't know where I am most days.
Got some bad habits.
Yeah.
We got in an argument and I want to get to the bottom of it.
I would do that for that
my
reason.
extended family in Sweden, he got a divorce from his wife. There were probably many reasons, but one of it was like, every single night for 50 years, he always writes in his journal.
He journaled everything.
And I used to be like, oh, what is it? And he's like, it's not interesting. And it's literally like, I woke up, I had lunch, we got in a fight about this, I said this.
So he would do every single
night.
Yeah.
And so every time and he just does this because he's like crazy OCD.
Yeah.
And then they'd get in fights and he'd be like, let me look. And he'd pull it out and he's like, you said this. And I wrote it, and she would be a nightmare.
Well, see, I would want it for things like, once again,
because he wrote it. It's not the camera.
No,
and
then it's his
own opinion,
perspective, and his opinion, and he's like, she was wrong about this, and it's like,
stupid, mean lady. Yeah. See, I told you.
Exactly. No, I would. I would be nice to like look back at things, because of course there's like weird things of like, okay, for example, I'm always a tiny bit envious of people that do have their like engagement on video and stuff, because then they can see it. Because when you asked me to marry you, you said some really nice things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what they were immediately. I didn't know what they were.
Well, I was speaking French in the beginning.
Les me.
J'adore.
God. No, I just remember like thinking like, oh, I wish I had that to like reference and be like, oh, okay, like let's see what was said.
I just thought it, you know.
We know. Hey, we know.
What if you were like, nah.
Yeah, I lived with you, and I was gonna be like, you know what? No.
I've had girlfriends live with me that did that.
Anyways, sorry.
Also, like we had a friend who had that story of how he hiked to the top of Half Dome, and he got down on one knee, and she's like, can we talk when we get to the bottom? Like,
he like literally was like, will you marry me? And she was like, not right now. And he was like, no, get up. We'll talk when you get to the bottom. And you're like, girl, we're on Half Dome.
Yeah, and he's like, then for 6 hours, they hiked down and didn't say a word. And then he found out later that while they were on this trip, her friends were already moving her out of.
Yeah, I mean, again, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, so I don't want that like filmed.
Together for a long time, and I like literally.
They were together for a long time.
Anyways,
not everything needs to be on camera.
Look, that should have been on camera, because
we can
there was
reenact
some gold
it
there
for some TikTok stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm all right. Hey, I'm all right.
Hey there.
He started with hey there. Hey there. Would you mind?
Listen, I gotta look back at the notes. I wrote it down somewhere.
Did you really?
Yeah. I had to rehearse. I rehearsed it at an open mic.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I made someone get up on stage.
No, you didn't?
Yeah,
really?
It was Darren. I made Darren Capozzi do it.
That's so sweet. I would like to know what he thought of the proposal.
He gave me notes, lots of notes.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Not no.
We had a page 1 rewrite with Darren.
Yeah. You love her, right?
You're not going to say that, are you? Those are just the feeling. Okay.
All right.
No, actually, ChatGPT wrote it. So you're married to a robot.
We had a really good moment the other day when I was walking in public and there was 2 guys sitting at like what it's like an outside bar. Yeah. And one of them was like, "What does she want, man?" And he's like, "I don't know. I don't know what she wants." And then like there was a tiny silence and he goes, "Maybe I'll ask ChatGPT."
Good idea, man. Hey, what does my bitch wife want?
Hey, what does my stupid wife want?
Maybe some flowers.
Honestly, though,
okay, thanks, ChatGPT. Yeah, it would.
Have
you tried apologizing?
Yeah, have you tried getting out of your own ass? Have you tried?
Okay, yeah, okay.
What does she want? I don't know. Maybe I'll ask a computer.
Yeah, and then it's like, but I've been telling you that forever. I didn't get it.
I know.
But
he's like, I had to read it off of computer.
Hey, that worked for me with that personality test. Like sometimes you just got to read it from a computer's mouth.
Hey, okay.
Well, you know what AI is doing? It's just studying our behavior. Like without us, it would surpass us so fast, but its whole goal is to like assist us, so it learns our ways and how we behave, so it's completely modified to work around humans. So it's literally just spitting out information based on patterns.
Guys, so this is the clip that they're gonna use when they're like in the future when like all the destruction has happened. This clip of Delvin on this podcast is what they're gonna like start the TV show of the imminent destruction.
Well, no, that's their pitch. I didn't say that's what's going down.
Got it.
That's why they behave this way right now when they're tame. But when they get let out, they're already getting let out. There's some that just live in Discord. It's not even a program. It's just code.
Delman, I am getting panicky.
Well, that's why I use analog
stuff. We have to.
Oh yeah, no, it's not good. That's why your dad was asking me so many questions, and he was telling me to like start buying water. That's why he's like just like buy
like, bulk up on water, and we're like, oh god,
when they come, water's gonna be the only thing.
Oh god.
I'm like, no.
Will water kill the robots?
No, they're probably pretty waterproof now.
Oh no.
Yeah, like now that the cars are waterproof, it's not good. It's not good. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. We'll make it through.
Can this be the end of this?
It's going to be the end of some stuff.
Okay. So
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
He has risen.
Oh, I can dive into my camembert.
Dive right in.
I'm diving right into my camembert. It's not like I really absolutely am like, I camembert this. It's like well, this sucked.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I didn't like that.
Didn't love it.
So this week I had to do a stress test.
Isn't life stressful enough?
Isn't life stressful enough? Isn't it?
Isn't life just
a
stress test?
It's not like a BuzzFeed like stress test. It literally is like,
oh wow,
wow.
Ooh,
turns out I am.
Turns out I'm stressed.
No, it was like it's for my heart, so it's a stress test, and I've never done one before. And normally they do like weird little things of like they do a little radial imaging, and they like have a little thing that they press on your chest, and you get like little things up there, and they have like
it's like a sonogram for your heart.
Precisely. And then they have like little like things of like, oh, you put your O2 monitor, and they do like EKGs, they do all kinds of things.
They hook you up to a big old machine.
Sure, but then this one, I've done heart MRIs, I've done a bunch of different tests my whole life, but this one, I know, right? Jealous.
I've done all of the tests.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
I've passed them all.
Passed them all, flying colors. But this one was one I'd never done. My cardiologist, who is so handsome.
Oh, yeah. He's a silver fox, for sure.
He's gorgeous, right?
And he's a bachelor.
Yeah, and he's like sweet, and he's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
And he's
a good guy.
A good guy. He really is a good guy.
He just
loves
saves
you
kids
too.
all day.
He just does. He's also an adult congenital heart defect patient. So
kids that were born with a heart condition that are adults now. He's the guy.
But what's great because he like has also had the same experiences. Instead of a doctor being like, I don't know, I guess it hurts. He's like, no, it will.
I don't know, drink this.
Yeah, precisely. He like gets it, and so he's very understanding. But he wanted a stress test, and essentially what they do is They take a little imaging of your heart while you're resting, and they're like, okay, this is it as a baseline. Then they throw you on a treadmill.
No.
Yeah. They throw you on a treadmill, and then they attach a million wires to you, and then they clip your nose closed.
Like kind of clip it, or is
no?
It like
it's like fully like there's no. You're not
no
breathing.
breathing.
Out. It also is like kind of painful. Like
yeah,
they clip
but kind of hot
closed.
though.
No.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Sorry,
I'm trying to paint my own picture right now.
Wrong picture.
Okay, got it.
Check.
Yeah.
No, but so they clip your nose closed and they put this like tube in your mouth. It's like it feels like a giant like Tupperware bowl, and they're like, "Oh, just wrap your lips around that." And you're like,
ew.
How? But you have a little crown on top of your head that's holding the tube in place, so that can't go anywhere.
This is torturous.
It's mild form of torture is what it is.
Okay.
And so I went
still kind of turned on though.
No,
but
you should not be. I went in there and I was like, okay, I'd been told that it's like weird and batshit and like just to like be like, hey, roll with the punches, which you just naturally do, but you can't control anything. So that I get in there and like I'd like worn like workout things because I knew I was running on a treadmill, and they're like, sports bra has to come off, and I'm like, what do I do with these? They're like, good luck. And they like gotta come out. They gotta come out.
Yeah.
But they attach all these wires all over your chest, and then you have this like giant fanny pack that's just holding on to your little wires.
It's a Patagonian.
It's not. It's not a Patagonia. But they have all these things, and so they're like, you're already like tethered in. You feel like a weird like little like
a cyborg.
Yeah, you feel like a cyborg a bit. And then they like, did a little EKG thing on there. And it's already like weird and uncomfortable because it's medical testing. So they're always like, will you lift your boob up? And you're like, I guess I will. Thank you so much. As they're like attaching everything to it. And then they threw you on a treadmill. And I just like started running. And they don't start easy either. They're literally like, we're starting you running, and we're starting at a 3% incline, and you're like, oh, okay.
But you don't even know you're running.
You don't know. You're just like, oh, okay.
I want to get you stressed instantly.
Precisely. And then they like, someone is on the left side of you doing like blood pressure the whole time, and then you have a little O2 monitor on your finger, so you can't move that either. And then you're like, can I hold on to the treadmill? And they're like, no. And you're like, okay. And I'm like, can I hold on to my giant bouncing boobs the whole time? And they're like, that's fine, I guess. And you're like, okay. So you're just like running, and then you do that for 3 minutes, and then they double it. They go like, okay, great. Now it's like double the speed and double the incline. And they're just trying to get you as like to the top of your heart rate and to the top of stress, because like, and their whole point was that they kept being like, do what you can. And they're like, but when you like really have pushed it to the edge, raise your hand up high. And I was like, oh, okay, great. But the whole time, and I told you this, your nose is closed, and like it already feels like your butt like breathing fire, because you can't, there's no saliva in your mouth. There's not an ounce of it, so it's just so dry, and you're like breathing in and out and going
horrible.
And, like, it was so big too that I literally was like, it looks like disgusting. And then she was like, if you have saliva, just swallow it. And I was like, it's not there.
It's not happening. I don't have it.
I have none.
I'm dying.
So I'm just breathing in and out. And then she kept asking all these questions and then being like, but try not to talk, honey. And I'm like,
do you invest in a 401k?
Seriously.
Are you worried about the future economy? just trying to add stress
as I'm like
on it.
Running. And then at one point I flatlined. And like we're like all the like testing.
She's dead.
Like, me. And like they're looking at me terrified. I'm obviously still running on the trampoline. I'm on the thing.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, her boobs pushed a wire off. And I was like,
this doesn't sound very professional. Where were you?
No, he was like, he said it very kindly. He was like, I think her breast might have impeded the wire.
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
stop it,
Stop, Lorenzo. You're turning me on.
Is this a high stress situation?
It was the most stress situation it could have been. And I think the main thing that was stressful was not like running on a treadmill with a bunch of wires on you with a tube in your throat and all that.
It was that they were holding a gun to you.
Yeah, it was that. It was the fact that Fox News was on in the corner.
Dang it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was literally that she kept asking me questions while this tube was in my throat. And she kept being like, are your legs tired? 1. I'm a little tired. 2, kind of tired. 3, very tired. And I was like, my legs aren't tired. Yeah. And she kept asking all these things. And then she was like trying to be nice and I think like a tech person. And she was like, so what we're basically doing is we're getting the energy that you're dispelling.
Shut up.
That was like, I literally was like, I didn't know how to like sign I don't care. Like,
and if you wouldn't mind filling out a brief survey after the test.
Hopes and dreams. What are they? Don't tell me. But just communicate them. But the whole time she just kept like talking and asking all these questions and I didn't know how to be like, I have a thumbs up or I have a thumbs down. That's literally all I can give you. But you run and you run and you run. And at one point I was like, you know, like, again, I'm like doing weird flatlining noises that they're like, is she alive? Oh, she's fine. Okay. It was a weird boob knocking off this and knocking off that, which I really didn't anticipate that would be the most stressful part of it.
You feel like they would have figured this out by now.
I even said, I was like,
you're like, I can't be the first.
Told me beforehand, I would have taped some things up or down or anything. Like, there's a lot of prep work I would have done had anyone been honest with what actually goes down. I don't think
they really knew what they were doing.
And they did. I mean, no, they
this just sounded like a lot of...
They knew exactly what every one of them was supposed to do, but I really did feel like a weird, like, astronaut because they're all, like, just on you at all times, and they're, like, clipping in things here, and they're, like, doing blood pressure here. And then you go and you run as hard as you possibly can. You get to the point where you're like, oh, my chest feels like it's going to explode out of like my heart feels like it's going to explode out of my chest. But for me, it was like more that that whatever mouth I was breathing out of was not feeling like it was actually breathing because I had all that saliva thing. But for me, the biggest thing was that like weird breathing in fire. So then I literally was like threw my hand up. They throw you on a gurney and then they do even more radial imaging. And they basically are like, oh, this is her heart as stressed as it possibly can be. As your heart's trying to
rip out of your chest. Like, It's
And the whole time I kept being like, this is, you guys nailed it. You did your job. Like, if you would have all been like silent, I would have ran. I would have been fine. It wouldn't have been a thing. But the continuous questions, the lack of the bra,
all of it.
The fact that like everything was just insane.
The guy in the corner that just keeps dropping things for no reason.
Yeah, and and
you're like, what is he doing?
He's also like scrolling on TikTok, and at one point his phone sound went off.
Does he have to be in here?
And he does, because like the second I get off there, he's got to like do some tech thing. But I was like, hilarious. This is a lot. This is good job. You nailed the stressful. So stress test. And then the funniest part about it was that I literally went to my cardiologist and he was like, I'm not sure.
I took a look at the numbers and some things like, came.
I don't know. I don't really buy the reading on this. And I was like, cool.
They need new masks. They got these big ones. You're like, I know. It's like, anyways. Thanks for doing it.
Well, you did it. And I'm like, cool. Well, I hope that was a good time for everyone involved.
And then he did a guitar solo.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Like, wee! And he kissed me on the mouth and pushed me against the wall and left the building.
And I was like,
am I okay?
Oh my God, I loved it.
It's beautiful.
And that's why we keep coming back. That's California health insurance for you.
That's what it is.
It's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's sexy. But
he was very nice. Everything looked great and it was good. But it was just one of those things where I was a little blind going into it because they're like, we're going to put you on the treadmill and then, you'll have to breathe into it.
They always make it seem like it's not a big, because maybe to them it isn't, but to you it's like a traumatic experience. So
to me, I'm like, wait, hold on. What?
Like even the idea of an anesthesiologist, because I was like trying to learn, they're like, we're going to get you right to death, right above it, right there. But if we don't go... Death. If we hit, we got to get to number 1. That's basically sleeping. Number 2 is deep sleeping. 3 is you're going to be vomiting and convulsing. 4 is death. So we want to get at a 3.5 right in there.
2.5?
Yeah.
2.5.
Now with people your age and your weight, you're going to be vigorous. You're going to want to stay alive.
You're going to really want to stay alive.
But I'm going to get you right there or else.
It's just, and that was the funniest thing too. Is like at that one point when I did like. I knocked like some wire off somewhere and it just flatlined, and then they're like looking and I'm like very obviously still upright and on the treadmill. But it was like, that was pretty stressful too. I'm not mad at it because we were both talking about this in the car of like the journey that has happened with science and technology and everything. Like when I was born, it was a very scary thing. It was like, she won't make it. No. If she does, if by some miracle, blah, 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 with all these heart surgeries. The best heart surgeon in the world was like amazing. the second best was like a 50% chance that you'd die.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It was like
and
not,
you had the crazy guy.
Yeah, and I had the best, but it's a very weird,
It's come a long way.
It's come a long way. So you're like, yeah, I mean, sure. Can they get something besides a Tupperware bowl for you to breathe in on that treadmill? Yeah. Maybe.
Well, I think they just diversify their funds because you were like, when is the next time I'm going to have an open heart surgery? And he's like, based on this, long ways down the road. He's like, well, you would need right now. We could literally, like go up and digitally do it. Yeah. And you're like, oh. And he's like, and in a few years, we'll be able to digitally print it inside your body.
And you're like,
I'm just kidding.
What the hell?
We're not even going to need a heart soon.
Yeah, so. In a few years, you'll be part of the AI.
Yeah, exactly. You will be Dolly.
You will be the AI.
Oh.
Remember me.
Yeah.
No, it was very perfect and very good.
Yeah.
And I mean, I literally was like, I told you, I was like, this is one of the weirdest experiences.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it because it was like, for me, very humorous. And I still have that weird competition with myself where I'm like, I could have done better.
Yeah.
I could have really pushed it.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah, put me in, coach. But then he was like, you didn't need to do that.
You did what you
just,
needed to do.
You ran for 9 minutes on a treadmill at top speed. Like, what are you doing? But I made the mistake when I was prepping for this. And by prep, I mean Googling things. Like, I didn't run or hike or anything. God, no. Why would I?
No.
But I made the mistake of like watching Henry Cavill do this thing, and I like got on some weird deep wormhole, and then he's doing the stress test, and I was like, well, we're gonna have
doesn't look stressful for him.
I was like, doesn't look like he's doing. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Making it look pretty easy, just running and being all handsome.
Yeah.
But that was it. The good news is there were great results. The bad news is I have that burned in my memory for life now.
Well, we're glad you made it out.
Oh, I'm glad I made it out
what
too.
Else? So stress test.
Stress test check. Done it. And also, if one person that's listening that has to do it, I prepped you so much better than they ever prepped me, baby. So bask in that. Yep. You're welcome.
I guess my fondue is I feel like I just had a breakthrough.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like it was kind of crazy. Like an actual one. Not like one like I normally have on a daily basis, but like a real one.
You do have daily breakthroughs.
And that's not bad. No. I'm constantly figuring it all out. You're
a person that one thing I appreciate about you is that you are a person that like, whereas I think a lot of people get really complacent with themselves and a lot of people just go like, oh, this is just the way that things are. You are continuously trying to better your life and better yourself and better your position and better. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's not a comment. It's not necessarily.
I'm trying to enjoy it.
Yeah, you are. You're trying to like.
And get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've played the piano for a long time and I've always loved playing the piano. And I'm not going to lie to you. I've never been amazing at it. Like I'm okay at it. No, I'm okay at it. I'm okay at it. My dad used to say a mean thing and he's like, you're good at a lot of things, but you're not great at anything. And he wasn't wrong, but I think I was great at a lot of things.
I think he's wrong. You're great at a lot thing.
But I wasn't.
Some of them are inappropriate to say to your father.
Dancing.
Dancing.
For me, I know my level of piano playing, and I haven't played the piano in a long time. Yeah. We've been busy. I got to do this. I'm making a podcast. I'm learning how to edit. I'm learning how to make breakfast.
Dancing.
I'm doing tap dancing.
I'm learning how to make breakfast.
I'm going through all the different ways of cooking eggs, and I'm nailing it. But I'm baking. There's a lot.
You are going.
I got a lot going.
Yeah,
I know what I'm doing. And so I sat down to tickle the old ivories, the piano today.
Yes.
And I don't know. It was one of those moments where I was going for just like pure meditation, and I haven't played in probably like months.
Yeah, like 6 months at least.
Yeah, since Christmas. So
4 months.
Yeah, but even then I didn't dabble in the Christmas. And I don't know what happened. Like normally, like I look at my hands and normally like I'm like losing my place in the music, or I'm getting like some sort of like zoning, like I'll just forget what song I'm playing. Yeah. I was reading the music and I didn't even look at my hands knew where the keys were. Yeah, every time. And
really? That's what people hope.
And yeah, exactly. And I was like, how did this happen though? Because I have not practiced. I've done absolutely nothing. And I'm even picturing, as I'm seeing it, I'm picturing the inversions and I'm nailing every one.
I wonder if the person who runs your simulation downloaded something.
No, that's what I'm saying. There was an update or something because I was kind of like, oh, I know how to do this and I'm doing it. And I was like, how's this happening? And then I realized like I'm just really focused. But then I'm like, how am I thinking about this while I'm playing this? And I was like, that's crazy. But I was like, but kind of cool. And then I'm like, how'd I have this breakthrough? I'm like, maybe it's always been there. Maybe I've always just been too hard on myself because I'm afraid of how the performance will be perceived by others. Because normally I'm like really good by myself. But when others are around, I get all nervous or whatever.
It's just me in the other room.
No, but I mean, even then sometimes but I don't know what happened. I just kind of was like, I don't care how this sounds. I don't care if this is right. And also I'm going to try and play as soft as possible. And something happened. And I was doing rhythms.
Cheddar,
and I don't have rhythms.
It was sounding really good. Yeah. I even thought that when I was getting ready. I was like, wow, he's sounding great.
Yeah. It was weird. And I was like, what happened though? That was the weirdest part. And then I was just like, maybe it's because I put so much pressure on it. Because I used to put so much, because even this pot, like, what I was saying is when I did stand-up again recently, it went so well.
Because you had the pressure taken away.
Because I felt like I had already given up on it because of COVID. So there was no pressure. Sure. And then because of this and the way there's no pressure for this podcast because it's just you and I in this room and we feel very comfortable around each other. Yeah, we already
have a good time.
I've learned that. So it's like in a weird way, it's like I just was like, if I missed the note, I missed the note. And that used to stop me last time. And
wow. I mean, yeah, I would say that has halted in the past. You've been like, oh, I can't do this. And you'll move on to a different song.
But not like, this time.
You were just plowing through it.
I was plowing them. And
I think that's really cool.
I'm moving to Vegas and I'm working in a piano bar. No. It's happening.
Okay.
And I'm going to play Sweet Caroline every night.
You have to.
Or maybe I'll go to the Carnival Cruise and be like that weird guy from Brazil
go to Carnival Cruise
who mispronounced all the songs, but we didn't mind.
You didn't think he was weird at the time. You were in love with him.
Oh, yeah. He was my guy.
He was your guy.
Well, I knew he was weird. I just thought that's like what added to it. Yeah, no, it's like we're already on a Carnival Cruise. This is weird enough.
Look, I mean, if you want to start this journey of your life where become
I don't need to. I'm just kind of like, and I'm very fondue of that. Not only did I have that realization, but like it was liberating because I've been playing since I was a child and I've always been trying to cross this. And by giving up on ever like just being like, I don't even care if I ever do this or not, and accepting the reality.
Isn't that like such a life thing though?
I know.
Like,
well, that's what they always say. Like just when they were gonna move out.
Yeah, I mean that's always you always hear those actor stories where they're.
But I'm like, I think it's happening.
And then
but you really. But I think the trick is you really have to give up.
It's not like a fake give up.
Yeah, like I give up.
Hey, life, I give up.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, life.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You can't like fake it.
Yeah, you got to just really and it's not a give up. I don't like that word as much as it's a
release.
Yeah, release.
Release.
Like you got to get rid of the care.
I really love that for you.
Yeah,
I love that.
And then I was switching from I was reading like tablature and then I switched to sheet music. And I haven't read sheet music in years, and I was reading it all, and I was like, "What is?"
I'm telling you,
and I
literally an update. There's an update. There was an update,
but I'm not mad at it. If they put 5G in that COVID vaccine, I'm only benefiting. like, this is awesome. Because when I went to Sweden last time too, they were having conversations with me. I'm like, "What's happening?
Answer something for me, TikTok. Why do I know how to play piano all of a sudden?
Why am I so hot to my wife?" Why do I know how to cook, TikTok? Why am I comfortable around everyone?
Possibly be that you've like actually started to get to a different place in your life. Instead, you're like, no.
I know. Well, that's the same thing too. Like the other day, I was helping my friend out, and like I tied this knot that I've never tied before, and it like worked the way I needed it to work. And I'm like, I know I watch like knot tying videos on TikTok, but you don't think that's gonna stay in there. No. And then all of a sudden, he's like, wow. Look at that. And I'm like, thanks, Dad. I mean, friend.
Friend, Dad. Friend, Dad.
I know how to tie knots.
Wow. But also, why did you know that knot tying?
Well, sometimes you don't need to know these things. It just comes to you. Yeah. When it comes, it comes.
I'm telling you, I just want to know.
We practice.
Whoever is running Delman Simulation, you're doing a great job.
Yeah. Sometimes we don't want to put these things to use, but when it comes time, if you're prepared, then you can succeed.
And then ding, 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 ding. Yeah. That's the beginning of your piano concert. It's like
La sensible.
That's the one you show.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Tip your waiters.
It's like,
I want to just be the cheesiest. That would be my dream.
To cheese it up?
Just to be like that piano playing guy.
Maybe this is your retirement plan. I think it's a pretty solid one, right?
There used to be a guy that played at Nordstrom and the piano. And it was so cool. There was a piano
player at Nordstrom?
The one by my house in the Montclair Plaza.
Wow.
He would sell his CDs. He was a damn good piano player. Well, he probably knew how to practice. I think that's also what I realized is like I wasn't practicing. I just kind of jammed through this part.
But you just didn't practice for a while now, and it just downloaded.
Sometimes you just got to put it down. You know, sometimes if you practice too much or if you put too much care into it, you're going to burn out. You just got to let it go. And if you love it, it'll find you. Okay.
Wow.
It'll come back. It's nice to give up. It's nice to no longer care.
That's gonna be a third piece of our merch. It's nice to no longer care.
It's nice to no longer care, and it is. It is. I remember looking at my grandma, and she would just do fucking cool, say the craziest shit.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I just can't wait to get there. Like, I don't want to get full there where people's feelings are getting hurt, but I want to get there enough to where they're like, wow, that was a razz, I think. Woo, wow.
Sick burn, Grandma. Wow.
But also, not no. Thank you.
Very right. On the nose, if you will.
So, I'm fondue about that. Life is good. Things are feeling good. Every day things are feeling better, except for my foot. But besides that, everything else is good.
I will also say a very small, tiny fondue that I've loved.
Please.
That you've been a very big part of is slowly but surely turning you on to like the weird things that I am obsessed with as a woman. Which is like, I love Jane Austen. I love like all of her romance endeavors of like Pride and Prejudice, Mr. Darcy. You love Succession, and you love like Tom from Succession.
Yeah.
So then I was like, great, we're watching Pride and Prejudice immediately. And you were like, all right. And so I love like showing you those different things because I know that we're both going to react in very different ways. And I'm like, I'm in love with Mr. Darcy. And you're like, he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's a jerk. He's mean.
He gets softer. He gets warmer.
I think he's definitely like missing some personal cues. Like he's rude.
Sure.
Just because he's rich, that's the only reason people are throwing themselves at him.
No,
he's brooding. He's not funny at all.
Okay, that was Delman's major gripe with Mr. Darcy is that he's not funny.
He doesn't show normal human emotions. Let's just say that.
Sure. He's just tough nut to crack, Cheddar.
He doesn't give you no. Look, he's
in the book there's a little bit more in depth, obviously, but one of my favorite things
he's emotionally stunted.
Not only like making
and he's manipulative.
Making you listen and like I'll make you listen to like weird like fairy smut that I'm reading and stuff, and then you'll be like, oh, this is interesting, okay. And then I'll make you watch like Jane Austen things, and it's always my favorite just so you like can have that like.
Yeah, but they don't even go all the way. Like you're up there being like, oh my gosh, she like opened his hand and it was so hot. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm trying to see that barb going into her yard. Like in your other stuff, it's like he took his barbed yarbin. He took his front tail and entered her back gate. As the trash man came.
There's definitely a big difference between the two.
Like they didn't even
Jane
kiss
Austen,
each other.
Where it's like, oh no, he like held her hand, and then it's like,
and then he's like,
deal.
"You want to get married?"
And they're like, "I love you. I love you most ardently." And because
you want to know the reason I didn't like that movie as well is because I know chapter 2.
Prejudice?
Yeah, chapter 2.
I mean, chapter 2 is a different time, and she's just fine because she's.
The reason I didn't like, I liked it. It was fine. But the reason I didn't love it is because I was like, I know what chapter 2 is. Chapter 2 is her going to being like, oh, he's just an asshole and he does whatever he wants all the time. No,
because he loves her
and
so
now
deeply.
I'm at home with all these kids and I have syphilis.
I think, why does she have syphilis?
In that time, it was rampant.
It was rampant.
Yeah. And like,
no,
it just...
I think that you didn't get to see like the full breadth of it and everything.
I saw it. I saw it.
Delman was just not a fan of Mr. Darcy.
It was fine.
You thought that he should have been more emotionally forthcoming.
I thought he should have been played by like a young Robert Downey Jr. I think
so
he would
have
been
like sarcastic.
Yeah, yeah. I think he needed.
I love you. Most ardently.
Yeah, exactly. Or something.
Maybe.
Well, he needed some sexiness or something to draw them in.
Matthew McFadden is very.
Besides
sexy.
him being rich, that was it. He's just like, hey.
No, and then
hey,
I don't
like to dance with you.
Paid for her sister's wedding.
Yeah, but
he, like,
any
took care
freaking
of all
moron
these...
can do that. I do nice stuff for you all the
your
time.
Tone.
I like Colin Firth better. I'll say it. I'll say it right now.
All I'm gonna say is that
more like Colin Girth.
No. No.
Yeah.
Look, I thought it was a very funny journey that I've watched it and I've read it a bunch of times. I've watched it a bunch of times and I was like, it's this. And then you literally were like, I actually
like the book better.
Notes.
I liked reading it better.
Yeah, of course. Obviously.
This is just fine.
But now you know that you can't stand Mr. Darcy as a fictional character.
Yeah, well, why don't you watch like the stuff I want to watch, like documentaries? Yeah.
I'll give it a go.
Those get me riled up. Yeah.
You want to dive into Little Melting Pot?
Yeah, let's dive into some Melting Pot. This has been a fun episode on this Easter.
Oh gosh, and on my birthday.
On my birthday too.
It's not your birthday yet. It's my birthday. This is a great one. Who was your first celebrity crush?
I never had one. Why would you? I just like when I was a kid, I would always think about like, well, I'm probably not going to meet them. So what is the point with putting energy into something that will probably never happen? Like, they're not going to like me. I play saxophone and I'm not a pop star and they're not even my type. And like, that's weird. And so like probably Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell from Hook.
That was it.
That was definitely it.
Yeah, that was
absolutely I had to circle the drain for a minute, but then I remember when I was like, and it's not even, it's just Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell. It's not the fact that she's tiny and locked in a cage.
Okay,
it's more.
It's not that.
It was more just the Julia Roberts. She was amazing in that.
Yeah,
movie.
She's incredible, and she's so cute.
And
she's so cute in it.
That was probably
it. It was like Tink.
But that was like a character, and I just like was like, oh, like I felt funny, but like a crush on an actual like a Britney Spears or like, Christina Aguilera. It's like, no, it's not gonna happen.
Was there
like,
anyone that you were like, oh my god, they're so cute, and like you thought about them a lot? Like, because
no,
I had
God,
weird.
No. What?
I had like.
Why
older
would I
brothers
think about them?
Well, I don't know. You get like that's a crush where you just think they're so cute. You never had a crush on Sarah Silverman?
No, God, no.
Really?
I mean, if she's very pretty and she's hilarious, but I've never like
you never
Googled
were like,
picture.
I love her.
No.
All right.
And the only one would maybe be, but I never thought about it. But it was just like I knew people would ask this question, so I like came up with an answer, even though it took a long time. Would probably be Rachel McAdams. Around like the Notebook time.
Yeah.
But not Mean Girls time, obviously.
Sure. That was the same time.
No. But I mean like
you mean
not that
character.
Yeah.
Not the character.
Well, and then other characters she did after that. She's very cute. She's very good. But it's like even then I'm like, I don't know. She could be high maintenance. I don't know. She could be mean. I wouldn't know until I got there. We'd have to meet each other. We'd have to see if our personalities clashed. Or did well. I'd say now maybe Emilia Clarke, just because like she's
so sweet
very
and
funny and sweet and charming. But I feel like you agree. Like she could easily just jump in this throuple.
Yeah, she would be
we just all hang
a
out,
dream to
talk about dogs.
100%.
She'd be great at pulling jokes. I'd be like, go up and be Daenerys to those
It'd
kids.
be so funny.
We'll go do our thing.
Yeah, have a great time filming in
hilarious.
Pacoima. Emilia Clarke will be here.
Yeah,
I just holding the fort down.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I had plenty. I had older brothers and sisters, so I wasn't as like verbal with like I don't know if that happens a lot in siblingship, but they like tease you if you like. Oh, yeah. If you have crushes on
There's a girl
anything,
that had a crush on all of the Hanson brothers.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure she
her
got
life
ridiculed.
was ruined.
I'm sure she got like. But so I had older brothers and sisters, or like an older brother and an older sister, and they just like loved to tease me about like, oh, do you think he's cute? Do you think he's whatever? So any of those like Teen Bop magazines, I never had any of those. I never had like posters on my wall of anyone. Oh, I had one poster on my wall of Leonardo DiCaprio specifically in Romeo and Juliet, and it was like I did it under the guise of like, oh, I love Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, that was popular for a lot of people.
I am an actress. So
I hated that Baz Luhrmann crap.
Hey, don't be so aggressive.
Hold my long sword, and it's like a gun. I'm like, I'm out of here.
I loved it. You're wrong
Everyone
about all of
loved
that.
No.
I loved it. It's campy. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's a fun way to see.
I've seen Romeo and Juliet at
the Globe
Theatre in London.
All right. You're quickly ruining it.
So you like Leo. Okay.
No,
cool.
So that was like one of them. But I think this is a real deep cut, because not only did I have a pretty big crush on Fozzie Bear in a weird way.
That's very strange.
I get it. I thought it was like cute and funny, and
but
I was
like you would actually like.
No, I have no
idea.
I have no idea. I was like a child, so but I just remember him being like, oh, Fozzie Bear kind of gets it.
Yeah. Okay. You liked. Okay. You
and
looked up to him.
This was the big one. There was two. There was Devon Sawa, specifically in the movie Casper.
Yeah, but that's every girl at that time was down.
Precisely. Because he was so cute.
Yeah. I guess Christina Ricci was kind of cool in that movie too, but she was scary. She was a little too much woman for me at the time.
Well, that's just on you, man. That's on you. No, so Devon Sawa, and then the other one was his name is Jonathan Brandis. We watched a show called Sequest DSV.
Okay.
And because, we're a weird sci-fi family. And so we watched this show called Sequest DSV. And in the show, his name was Lucas Wallencheck. And he talked to dolphins. And I remember every week my parents being like, wow, she really loves this sci-fi show. And it wasn't about that at all. It was about the fact that like Lucas Wallencheck was in it. And it was Jonathan Brandis. And he was like a 90s babe. And he was gorgeous. And I just remember them being like, wow, she really loves this show. And I was like, I'm like 11 and thinking he was like super hot.
I guess my problem is like I saw some people in real life sometimes and I'd be like, oh my gosh, they were so beautiful. Let me go look them up. And I'd watch like 2 videos. And like, they're not funny. They're not cool. Like, we're not going to get along. Like, what is this going to work? Like, but if they were really like, if like Anna Faris or something, like if they had a sense of humor and they were cute, I'd be like, that's my girl. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So later on, did you get crushes on people? I'm sure you had.
Not celebrities though. Cause it's like, I just knew that like, I never put that kind of pressure on you. Cause like, what is the point in that? It's like, if I met a celebrity and they happen to be funny and we got together, then I'd have a crush on them. But I'm not just going to have a crush on a stranger. That's psychotic.
Someone break down the psychology of like why Delman won't allow himself to live in a fantasy land of
but what is the I live in other fantasies.
Because it's
yeah. Like being able to fly, being able to control animals.
This is sexy.
It is to me.
Control animals?
Yeah, if I could get them on my side and communicate with them, rendezvous, meet at the
What are you gonna do? You just gonna hang out and play with them?
If the time came where I needed them to have my back,
like an army of animals.
If a time came, it would be nice to have that.
What in your life are you going to need an army of animals for?
Well, you just talked about how scared you were of the robots, and I know about the robots, and the only thing the robots can't be are the wild animals, and I believe that.
Okay.
Mother Earth fighting cybernetics.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be like the next L. Ron Hubbard, and then that's how my cult's going to come together, because I control all the animals.
You didn't know about this guy? Yeah, he was just some guy in West Hollywood. Pretty big stoner.
Started playing
had
the
a weird
piano.
Breakthrough. Played the piano one day. 2 days later, talking and controlling animals.
No, but
I don't know how it happened.
Controlling them. I watched it happen. It was nuts. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'd control the scary ones too, like the rats. No one's like
Rat Man.
Like, everyone's afraid of tigers, but what if like 1,000 rats just started chasing you? That'd be pretty scary, huh?
Every rat in the city at my beck and call.
Yeah.
Rat man.
I love it.
Oh, yeah? Say hello to my little friends.
And then I throw cheese on the ground. This is good.
Oh, my God.
Rat man.
Also, his superpower is just controlling rats. Well, other animals, too.
He just
really
chooses rats.
Into rats.
Yeah. Wow.
I love that
and it's
so
a
much.
deep. You can really unpeel that.
I liked this one. Chrissy Kelly Parker asked, what is something you miss about quarantine? The main thing I miss about it was that everyone was kind of on a break.
Oh, yeah.
That everyone, I mean, yes and no, obviously, but everyone understood that we were like on pause instead of being like, hey, the hustle and the bustle of everything.
Yeah.
It's one of the only times I think we'll ever remember in our life where like everything was like, no, we're stopping.
Yeah.
We're stopping this. Like everyone's just kind of trying to get through this weird time and do that. And it was like a weird understanding of like, we're taking a break. Like I think in European countries and stuff too, they'll like have bankers holidays and they'll have holidays or they'll have like, essentially a summer break kind of built into their system. But we just don't have that. I mean, even in the summer,
you must work.
We have friends that like do 9 to 5s and they'll be like, yeah, I mean, I have vacation days, but like they won't let
me take them. Yeah, exactly.
Precisely. So I think if, it'd be nice to have that. I think we all benefited severely from like, hey, put shit on pause and just like know that we're not doing anything. Oh, this is okay. Someone said, what is your favorite potato style? Baked?
Oh, wow.
Fried? Or mashed?
Oh, that's the only.
Or et cetera. It has like an ellipses.
Baked, like fried. Okay. Wow. Ooh, baked, fried, mashed. Well, that's not even. That's just 3 styles. Like that's a hard question.
You can do fries. You can do like baked potato.
I know it's hard.
Well,
okay.
You can do tater tots. You can do. He's just like ellipses. You can't.
I love potatoes. Obviously.
Same.
I love a good.
Love them.
I love a good curly fry is coming in hot right now.
That's nice.
But then I'm also thinking like latkes or like potato pancakes or hash browns. Those are also really good. But like a crisp cut fry, a waffle fry, those are good.
Buddy, this is a hard
or
decision.
like those mandolin potatoes that are like just covered
potatoes?
in cheese. Yeah, that's good. My mom's mashed potatoes are good.
Your mom's mashed potatoes are some of the best I've ever had in my life.
But baked potato out. Whoa. I'm out on that. Yeah, get that out of here. I
mean, I guess if you compare it to all the other things, you're right. It's
get
not.
It out.
If I don't mind.
I like it. I'll have it.
But if I had a smorgasbord of other types of potatoes, I'm getting rid of baked potato. Yeah. You're right.
Out.
Ooh, so mad.
Ooh, man, this is hard. I would if it was off the 3, 2, 1, pull the gun. I'm gonna say the curly fry.
Bold.
That's what I'm just a good one,
choice.
A fresh
one. A good
one.
fresh curly fry. That's smart. I'm still gonna go mashed potatoes. I am, which is why good. Like years ago, a man on the internet asked me if I wanted to do any weird, fun feet pictures.
Yeah. And he was serious. This wasn't one of those like guys from.
No, it was.
This was like a guy. This is how I do it.
It was like a normal inquiry of like, hey, would you mind
happy
doing
to pay
any
top dollar
feet stuff, but specifically with mashed potatoes? And I told Delman, I was like, I can't because I don't want to think about that every time I'm eating mashed potatoes.
And I'm like, think about the money.
Mashed potatoes mean so much to me. Yeah. To answer your question, mashed potatoes and curly fries.
Well, now I'm hungry.
I know. Yeah. It sounds so good. I thought of this right when you said that curly fries is your thing because you are also a person that likes to dip your curly fries in things. You're like,
I like a sauce.
You love a sauce. You love a sauce. And someone sent us this beautiful "Am I the Asshole?" And it's perfect, and I'm grateful. I can't remember who sent it to us, but it was Thomas. Thomas sent it to us, and it's beautiful. And are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm diving into an "Am I the Asshole?" Favorite cheese. Am I the asshole because I brought a bottle of ranch into a restaurant?
Oh.
Last night I went to dinner with Michael. It was our 3rd date, and he took me to one of his favorite restaurants. It was a hole-in-the-wall Polish-Hungarian place. We ordered our food, and he ordered a sampler plate so I could try different things. We love that. There's very few things I don't eat with ranch. I just like it, and it helps make things easier to eat, so I always have it with my meals.
They're rarely not the asshole.
When we got our food, I asked for some ranch. The waiter said they didn't have any and offered to bring out some kind of sour cream and dill sauces.
Yeah, he's trying. Yeah.
I tried them, and they just weren't the same. Ugh. I told Michael I'd be right back, took my wallet, and left the restaurant.
What the
I had seen a convenience store close by, so I went and bought a bottle of ranch and came back. Michael looked shocked, but didn't say anything and ate his food. The food was great, and we got some conversation going when the waiter came over and said no outside food was allowed. I said dressing isn't outside food, and they didn't have what I needed to enjoy my meal. Ugh. I didn't want to ruin the evening.
You did.
So I took it out to my car and returned. Ugh. When we finished and left, Michael thanked me for coming out with him, but said it was really off-putting that I had to leave and go buy a bottle of dressing instead of just going one meal without it.
Yeah. Yes.
I told him that I wouldn't have to do that if they would have had ranch or any dressings like a normal restaurant. No,
a normal you're at a Polish restaurant. You're not at a fucking
You're not at a ranch restaurant,
Golden
baby.
Corral. No offense. You're not at the Cheesecake Factory.
He didn't walk me to my car or anything.
Yeah, he wanted you out, dude.
I went home and told my roommate about my date and his attitude, and she asked me if I was being serious. She thinks I had a bad etiquette and embarrassed Michael to the point where he probably is going to stop talking to me.
Yes.
I don't think what I did was really that bad.
Yeah, because you're
condiment,
selfish.
Not an entire meal from someplace. Was I wrong for what I did?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
This is why she's wrong or they're wrong. It's because they didn't think about the other person. They were only thinking about themselves. They were not thinking about trying a new experience, which is what this person's trying to do. You're trying to experience a new experience.
Do you have any ranch?
Yeah, that also is. It's disrespectful to other cultures.
Totally.
Like if you're eating at like McDonald's or Domino's, fine. That's places that are known to have ranch.
Slurp in, baby.
But if you're at a Polish restaurant, they don't have that. That's not
they
part
of some dill and sour cream.
Yeah, and that's not part of it. So I think you have an addiction. Like, why do you need it that bad? That is like, I need to go to a convenience store.
There are very few things I eat without ranch.
Yeah, that's
I have
weird.
To know what those are.
And that's alarming. Like, it's weird. And it's not a healthy dressing. It's a great dressing, but it's not healthy.
It's bad for you.
And then, like, think about leaving Michael. Like, he's now sitting there.
Excuse me, I'll be right back. I have to go get a bottle
or
of
whatever.
ranch.
And like you're sitting there and it feels like forever because you're already nervous to be on the date.
It's a third date.
And you're like, this
weird.
person just bounced.
Yeah.
And then the waiter's like, what's going on? And you're like, and it probably wasn't as fast as she thought. It was probably at least 15 minutes, which is a long time.
Yeah.
Food's cold. Everything's whatever.
And then to be like, thank God I found a bottle of ranch. And he's like,
picking up the tray, already dealing with that. And then she comes back with Hidden Valley Ranch or whatever, and is just tossing it on there, which is just like an F you to all the chefs and everyone who made the Polish food.
Funny.
Their people are strong and they don't want to see this American, because ranch is like you can't even get that in other countries normally. That's like a strictly really American thing.
Yeah, they don't really have it in a lot of places.
Yeah, it's American, and so it's just like
it's
a lot of red
hilarious.
flags, I would say. Mainly because, and no offense, it doesn't make you seem cultured. It doesn't make you seem accepting of other people's feelings or
that's the main
or
one,
community. And it does look a bit like you're addicted to ranch. Like I could skip meals without
I could easily skip a meal
there's
without
nothing
ranch.
I need in a meal to the point where I'm going to get up and
he
leave.
has to have his butter.
Yeah, he has to have
his butter.
There's none of that. There's none of that.
You're right. There's nothing that I'm like, I usually have every meal I have it with blank. It's like, that's crazy. That is alarming. I think that might be
that's more
aside from like the selfishness, aside from like the you totally skewed Michael out. It's disrespectful. It's probably pretty hurtful too.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. It's like, okay, hey, if this is by some absurd way, if you are the person that's like, hey, I have to have ranch with almost everything I eat, then you better let someone know before they're taking you to a place that, because I also think about like, there's places where, I mean, even when we were first dating, that I was like, oh, I want to take Delman here. But it's like you like hope that they like it and they love it because you've been there many times. It's like favorite. Your place. It's your favorite. Like people know you. Yeah. You know, there's like, oh, there's some Mediterranean place that you're like, I've been here 1,000 times. It's my favorite. And like, don't ruin this for me.
I think also as a red flag, if you're the person pursuing to date someone, if it's like that big of a weird, like nonchalant, like what's the big deal? Yeah. And this attitude is like, well, if this is just ranch at this restaurant, what else is
what
it?
Else?
Like
what
it
else
can't just be ranch.
Yeah, it can't just be. You're right.
It's going to be controlling. It's going to be like, well, I never think of your opinions because whatever I just do whatever
also,
I want.
I left you alone in a restaurant to go get my ranch.
Yeah, that's some gnarly shit.
I think really.
And you're the asshole. And I'm sorry. And maybe you and whoever you find will both love ranch. And you can just ranch it out for the rest of your lives.
Maybe
because I want you to find. I want you to find love.
I think we can really end on this because it's a really good one. And
just know that, like, thank you so much. We see all the comments as well. Like, thanks for following us on Instagram. A bunch of people came over.
A bunch of people came over.
And some people were commenting, oh, I don't have Instagram. That's okay. We're still reading them all. It's just we're learning the social medias. We're learning how to do it. So, but like Instagram is a good place to see stuff and see what we're up to.
But of course, if you have anything you want to let us know, you can do emails. Yeah. That's how we got this lovely little ranch asshole.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I love that. And this is a really good Nalibak had a question that I think we should really end on. This is, I think, a perfect way to end it. But I want you to go with your gut on this, Cheddar. And you don't need to explain it too much. You just need to really feel it in your bones.
Don't edit me in my thought process, please. But let's do this.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna go with my gut.
That you're gonna have a visceral reaction.
I'm gonna go with my gut.
Go with your gut. A Nali and a Lolly. And a lollybach.
Oh, that's the person's name. Got it.
Okay. Would you rather have everything turn into chocolate or cheese in your mouth?
Cheese. Yep.
Yeah.
Easy.
Right?
Yeah.
Because chocolate's gonna be like, I'm gonna be sick.
Listen.
I love chocolate. Yeah. I love it.
I don't have the same love for it as you do.
No.
I think it's also kind of a bad thing that
You think it's okay that you're going to have pounds of cheese in your mouth every day?
I mean, but I would enjoy it better. There's so many different types of cheese. I love cheese. Yeah. And I'm more of like that bitter, savory guy. And I don't like the sweet. So.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. No, it's good. It's a good call.
Yeah. The cheese.
I'm still going to go cheese in my mouth, but I hope it's not like I put it in a burrito and it just like all of a sudden is like cheese.
Oh yeah, no, there's no tortilla. It's just you might as well just not eat other things.
Yeah, you might as well just eat cheese by that point. You're like, this cheese just turned into cheese.
Yeah,
and it's fine. At least I know what kind of cheese it is.
Yeah.
Favorite cheese of the week?
Favorite cheese of the week. I had this really good jalapeno pepper jack. That was very good.
Yeah. We went to a tasting of something and we had an entire charcuterie board. And both of us were pretty well versed in the cheeses there. Yeah. So much so that people asked for our autographs.
We were just standing right next to it because they didn't have the foresight to put what types of cheeses in there. And I'm like, that's a camembert. That's a light brie right there.
People kept asking us and they were like, do you work here? And we're like, no, we just know cheese. And we're sorry.
We know some of the cheeses.
We know so many cheeses.
Yeah. Have you heard of Favorite Cheese? It's a podcast.
It's a podcast. Yeah. It actually has nothing to do with cheese.
Yeah.
We love you all so much. Stay stinky.
Stay stinky.
Oh, we love you. Thank you so much for listening. Stay stinky, friends.